Alright, so Bant, Proliferate, Bant aggro, whatever you want to call it here. This is a deck that one of the MPL players had played in their first weekly series event this past week. It's an incredibly unique and interesting deck, which naturally means that the MPL feature matches didn't actually show any games of it playing for whatever god-awful reason. So, we're going to go ahead and play through some matches with it here and see how it feels. Hopefully in future weeks of the MPL weekly stuff, they take the time to show the decks that are interesting and unique. Yeah, Chamber Sentry is interesting. Pretty easy mulligan to start here. This is not great, but fine. Raptor sounds good. Well, the Stream Decker doesn't update automatically. It's something I have to manually do. Thanks for the heads up. Huh? Think I want to do this turn now? The title is updated. It doesn't update for you at home. Nope, I'm a liar. It actually didn't update. Technology. I want to... No! Oh my god! Oh. Oh. This is probably going to be the last deck of the day. This is probably going to be the last deck of the day. I wanted to turn off auto-ordered triggered abilities so that way I could stack this and this appropriately. That's what I wanted to do, was turn off that. But here we are, the king of concessions himself. Yikes. All right, let's shake it off and win the next two here. This is gonna be the last deck today. So I'm going to lead on Sunpetal Grove on one here, and the reason for this is this way if I draw a green source that's a shockland next turn, I can play 2 Pelt Collectors. It's sad because our hand was pretty good last game. So if I draw a land next turn, I can go Chamber Sentry into Venerated Loxodon, which will make my Pelt Collectors 5/5s, which is pretty sweet. Huh? Now I'm just gonna do this. Oh, I can't. I was just say I could play this for one, but then I actually don't have a white mana to cast this. So I want the Pelt Collector evolve triggers to happen first. Yes, this is the MPL list. I don't think the green-white Ajani is a particularly constructed playable card. Well, that's aggressive. This is 12, 18. Yeah, I think you'd rather play Adversary of Tyrants, if anything, just because it generates card advantage. So I can attack with everything, and then, like, Baffling End the egg. Yeah, the problem is we die to Lightning Strike or Shock with that line. I think we're probably dead to those things anyways, though, right? They just, like, hit us plus poke us. Yeah, maybe that line's okay, Dragon. That gets completely blown out by their Collision Colossus, though, which they ended up having. Yeah, still had all these, BM. Guess I shouldn't have clicked on the wrong option, and the menu for the first game. Yeah, this is the last deck of the day. I'm just not all here. And Tuesdays, for whatever reason, are like my worst viewer count day of the week consistently. So I'm not gonna push myself through a long day while I'm sick for a bad viewer count day. Howdy, Shame Spiral. Awesome, glad you're enjoying it. Guess this is fine. Would love to draw a 1-drop here. Perfect. Tuesday is Monday's ugly stepsister. Yeah, it's weird. Mondays are actually my most viewed days. Looking at data historically speaking, my consistently highest viewer count day is Monday. This is the third deck we're playing today. Maybe I'm supposed to play this just because it doesn't die to shock and they're stuck on one land. That's true. We did have a lot of people here on Saturday. Weekends are pretty hit or miss depending on what else is going on though.
Sorry I'm late. Trust me, I have a plan.
Yikes. Well, at least I get to play a 5-mana 4/4 next turn. Light up the stage here, yep. Ooh, that's nice.
Let's try this.
The better 5-mana 4/4, exactly. Howdy, Tom. Toby, thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Alright, well, we've got a good amount of power in play here. Old 3 free here gets to draw another card next turn.
Might be a bad idea.
Aside from Duress, is there anything you would add to the sideboard of the Citadel deck that could improve the Esper matchup? Things like Planeswalkers can make the control matchup better. So ways to allow you to generate card advantage, basically. I wonder if we're going to see them swing in here. This is like the last turn they could possibly attack for damage rate. Yeah, Tom, I'm the final stop on the family sickness cycle for this time through. Christy and Declan were sick over the weekend, and Jake was sick last Friday. Well, until their last card is Risk Factor, we're at an okay spot. What's the deck of the day so far today? Probably the Ralph Finale deck. Yeah, and when you live with other people, it's just like all living in a petri dish, right? So like once one of you gets sick, it just like works its way through everyone. That's how I want to sideboard. Deputy of Detention's pretty bad against the deck full of 3 damage burn spells. Tristani gives us some life linkers. Baffling End's cheap removal. Yep, definitely a lot more sickness since the kids started school. White needs better removal tools. I don't know. I think the the fact that, like, white doesn't have fantastic spot removal is actually one of the things that makes the format a little bit interesting. Yep. I think this is Elf into Vivien here. Swords to Plowshares, get out of here. What are the win cons for prison decks? Depends on the deck party, Giddle.
Things begin and end in nature.
Deal. Gonna light up the stage here.
You can still walk away.
Yeah, I think it's this one. Oh, that's tapped. Oh, yikes. Yikes. I knew that. I knew that.
How this thing goes is up to you, pal. I've seen puppies whine less than you.
Alright, so next turn, we'll get to go... Really have another light at the stage here. Okay, digging for lands. Alright. We're gonna kill my elf. Oh no. Oh no. I'd really like to draw Huatli's Raptor here.
The mysteries of life are endless.
Oh, Pelt Collector, Chamber Sentry for 2 here. And then next turn we can do this into this. Start smashing. Wait, did they not play this one? Oopsie poopsie. Ooh, that's a good draw. If the game wasn't over before, it's definitely over now. Elefante's pretty good. Yep. Think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. Let's run it back. Jeff knows how the cards works. He's testing people. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe it is all an elaborate ploy. 4/4s. 4/4 pretty decent against the red aggro deck. There's only so many lava coils to go around. It's like, okay. Turn 1. Turn 1 Elf actually isn't that good in this deck, which is weird. Can you elaborate on why you think this feels like a mid-range deck, Bladerade? In my opinion, a mid-range deck tends to have things that generate a lot of card advantage, as well as things that card advantage, as well as things that have a lot of quality spot removal. This deck definitely doesn't have quality spot removal or consistent card advantage. Or little Llanowar. Yeah, this is one of the tough parts. It's like, well, this is it comes into play and it proliferates, but like we don't always have things to proliferate. What time do I stream Modern? We do a Magic Online League to start basically every morning. I did not do one this morning because I was sick. I'm still sick. But almost every morning essentially. So do a Legacy or Modern League. Beast of Burden. What's my current favorite standard deck for War of the Spark? I think the Bant Arcbow deck is probably my favorite at the moment. That or Sultai Flash. I'm a sucker for a good Frilled Mystic. Hey, Coma Cake, thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. Where does Esper Fringe rank? I think that deck's really good. Probably gonna be too little too late here. Alright, let's try again. Since I accidentally conceded game 1 of the first match of the set. Let's try a second event here. I think the Esper Narset deck is super competitive. I honestly think the Esper Narset deck might just be the correct way to build Esper Control moving forward. Just because there's so many Narsets in the field that like cutting down on Chemist's Insight and playing more Planeswalker card advantage makes a lot of sense. Would I donate to have sideboard guides built for decks that are in the queue? I want to see you play and win with Hardened Scales. The donate button down below the stream is the same for everything. There's a comment when you donate that you can fill in what the donation is intended for. I mean, I don't think Llanowar Elves is weird in this deck. I think it's a fine inclusion. I just think it's less good than it is in some other Llanowar Elves decks. Which is, like, fine, right? Because, like, Llanowar Elves, generally speaking, is, like, a really busted card. This hand probably was not a keep. Yeah, the Sultai Diviner deck has been sweet too. What I think is the weakest 3-color combination? Probably Naya this season. It was a good draw. I don't think this deck has a high enough land count to want Sloth in it. Because remember, Sloth's not a mana source on its own. It just helps you ramp up your other mana sources. What's that? That was a good draw. Yeah, Naya just tends to not get quality removal, and it doesn't have good ways to interact with, like, spell-based combo. Yeah, Huatli's Raptor seems like it's a 2 or 10 card. It's like a card that when it's great, it seems absurd, but there's a lot of these games which just doesn't do anything effectively. Think we're dead, chat. Maybe they didn't show this deck in the MPL matches because it just got destroyed. I wonder if that's a possibility. Because, like, it was all pre-recorded, right? So they knew what the results of the matches were ahead of time. Maybe he won? He won the match. Oh gosh, there's no excuse for not showing it then. I also really liked how Alias and Paul Cheon were like, we're going to deck tech some of the interesting decks that are here. And then I like pulled up mono white aggro. I was like, oh yeah, we're going to talk about the interesting decks. Like mono white aggro. Gotcha. Gotcha. I understand. I think I'm actually going to wait on this Chamber Sentry to play it as a 3-3. Vegda, thank you for the 19-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. It's gonna be every Saturday moving forward, Zach. Yeah, the showing only one game of a match, and it was the game where the person who didn't win the match won, was like super weird. Just an incredibly strange decision. Yeah, and I mean, like, so the MPL, like, these players, well, most of these players are playing to win, right? And, like, they're competitive Magic players who are just, like, giving themselves the best possible chance to win. So I don't expect them to, like, show up with weird brews, right? Like, I would expect the norm to be, these are good players playing good decks, right? Scale of 1 to dead, where's this elf at? Dead side of the scale, got it.
I've lost so much already. I won't lose more. Wait.
Yikes. Yikes. Yeah, I'd have been tilted off the face of the planet if, like, I had been a Platinum Pro that didn't make the cut for the MPL, and then, like, MPL slots opened up, and then, like, they gave them to non-Platinum Pros, just like... God bless that I don't have to worry about that. How is this deck performing? It's really mediocre so far. Hard lose. It does definitely feels like mono red is not. Maybe That's probably pretty unlikely, Merja. Yeah, 5 mana, 4/4. Alright. Alright. We're gonna try one more here. If we die again, I'm calling it a day. If we die again, I'm calling it a day. Okie doke. This is my 1/1 There are many like it, but this one is mine. I don't think so, Street Kings. Alright, sweet. Not 19 basic mountains. Let's see how we do. Although, I don't know how this deck ever beats a Wild Growth Walker, huh? I guess we have Baffling Ends in the sideboard. Because we have Baffling Ends and Deputies of Detention. Oh, are they playing Green Black Citadel? Esper Bolas was alright. It was just like, almost certainly just bad Esper. Vivien, maybe not Green Black Citadel. Use Sentry to deal. Y'all crazy. Maybe I should have attacked with both of these.
Beasts are much more reliable.
Will do, Pun Count. Thanks for the support.
Strike now. Strike hard.
This deck has not been particularly impressive. Maybe they are Green Black Citadel and they just put Vivien in their deck for some reason. I'm so confused.
Have you ever lost a home?
Yeah, adding 5 mana spells to Citadel seems kind of loose. Hey, look! our Huatli's Raptor's gonna proliferate for the first time. That was bound to happen eventually, right? Oh, you know what? I could have done all this at instant speed, right?
Makes me stronger for the fallen.
They're about to finality me, and I'm just gonna, like, cry silently. They are, in fact, the Citadel deck. Okay, weird. This is such a weird inclusion. You could have also played the Raptor first and then responded to the Proliferate with the counters. Oh, yeah, that's true. With the Vivien making instant speed, I could play this and then do the thing. Yeah, that's very true. Yikes. How do I beat a... I guess I should have taken the Deputy here instead of this.
There is wonder in a blade of grass.
Are they dead? Yeah, looks pretty dead. Alright, we found someone slower and clunkier than we are. Get it, got it good. Alright. Deputy in. Baffling End in. Maybe I don't want Time Raveler. This digs to these, which is nice. Chamber Sentry. I think we just hope to go under them. Like all things considered, like the Citadel deck's kind of a slower combo deck. Intend to attack all wise chat trying to be fancy. Listen, you've met Twitch chat before, right? This is basically when Marduk Pyromancer queues up and finds a creeping tar pit, slow turtle finds slower turtle and wins. Classic 1-3 bracket type of thing. It's so rude. Hey, David, thanks for the tip. I appreciate it. Oh, where's the thing? Could you give us insight into Esper control strategies given the main deck is mostly against aggro? How do you see winning condition against other control decks, and how do you sideboard against them? Thank you. Do you have a particular Esper control deck you're talking about there, David? Are you referring to, like, the Esper Narset deck that we've played on stream a few times, or something else that you had in mind? Yeah, I think the standard format is good enough. I don't think it's like top 3 by any means, but I think it has more positives than negatives on average. Not a huge fan of the Wilderness Reclamation decks, but they are kind of being pushed out of the format by other things, so can't really complain too much. It's a good draw. Look at that. Huatli's Raptor's gonna do a thing, chat. Huatli's Raptor's gonna do a thing. The Baffling Jade Light Ranger here. It's like turn 4. Is this turn 4? It's like kind of neat when it gets to do the thing. Deck for most improved employee of the month award. One question I have for you, David. Why do you like the deck stats website? Of all of the deck websites, it is like the most hideous in my opinion. And you're far from the only person who links me deck lists, who's linked me deck lists on it. I think with this draw, I'm going to wait a turn on this. All right. Attack for 6 on turn 3. Not bad. Yeah, Esper and conceding with 7 cards in hand, you know, no big deal. No big deal. Sounds about right. Yeah, for people asking why specifically we're playing this is a deck list from the MPL that someone had submitted a Bant Proliferate builder out, and this was, or a green-white Proliferate builder. This was the closest that I got to that. My one comment looking at your list, David, about you're worried about your control matchups is not playing for Teferi Hero of Dominaria is probably some hot nonsense. Your deck list isn't that far off of the Esper Narset list on my website. You got a couple of Ugins and stuff in there too. I'm a pretty big fan of the configuration we've got up there of that. Man, when I board in this many Planeswalkers and like negates, this Vivien like becomes a lot worse, huh? If I'm getting down to even 25 creatures here, like, she's pretty likely to miss. Let's try this. Is this for Narset on my website? It is. They're any good when a creature enters the battlefield effects cause damage in Standard? You mean, like, what's it called? The, oh, I'm blanking on its name. The, an Impact Tremors type card, or like Vanish Pyromancer? Vanish Pyromancer, yeah, that's the one. Or the Flying Siege Rhino. Uh-oh. Audio bug. Has been 3 hours and 3 minutes. Yep. Like clockwork.
I'm getting too old for this.
Gosh, this proliferates up my planeswalkers too. That's so good. Alright.
Protect you.
These people are great. Buy their stuff. These people also great. Buy their stuff. Back to your regularly scheduled Magic Arena. Do you think Esper Narset is more competitive than Esper Friends? I mean, doesn't Esper Narset qualify as an Esper Friends deck? I guess I don't know what your differentiator there is between the Esper Narset deck and like an Esper Friends deck. Like how are these things different? They've got Eternal Covenant in their Esper deck. It's weird. All right. Yep. Sure. We were gonna go 2-drop into Elephant. As you will. Yeah, DK, I am not at 100% today. I spent most of last night up with a fever. I mean, I always have plenty of decks in the queue, Zach. I'm just like, I'm like aware when I'm not like playing at 100% and like I'm not as entertaining as I otherwise could be. So I prefer to just like, I wanted to get on for a little bit today, but ooh, Deputy's gonna be really good against tokens. I think I'm sitting on him for now, although if I play him now, he protects Vivien, which is nice.
Tear it down. Tear it all down.
TLDR on this deck so far, it's felt kind of underwhelming. We got stuffed by mono red twice. So like if you care about your mono red matchup, you probably don't want to play it. Yay, new O-ring templating. Yeah, I've seen Savitz and a couple others playing blue-red Drakes recently, and it's just like, feels real bold to play that deck to me in how many Narsets people I have running around. With Saheeli and Karn, I genuinely don't know. The amount of games you need to log to like say with certainty one deck is better or worse than another is like far more than I've played with either of those decks. Now, like, one bit of merit is that what's the word that I'm searching for? One thing to consider is that like the Esper Narset deck in general is just like pretty close to a traditional Esper control, and Esper control's been good for a while, so
is a new beginning.
I would be surprised if it's well, this is sweet. I get to have him bounce this and then use my Vivien again.
Might be a bad idea.
There is wonder.
Yes, please. Alright, this deck is kind of funny when it gets going. Hey, Zentis, thanks for the 13 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Although, like, the kind of cheeky things I'm doing here, they're very similar to, like, the Bant mid-range deck from the open, right? So it's like, am I really doing something that's meaningfully better than that deck? Because, like, this interaction here that was kind of sweet with, like, this, and this, like, these are all things the Bant Vivien deck we played before. Bounce my Deputy and take both Conclaves. Oh, that's probably a better line, actually. It worked out because I found another Deputy with the Vivien, but you're right. That could potentially have been a better line. Wow, they're just passing? I wonder if they have March and they forgot about his text. That pause there makes me think they have an instant and they forgot about Teferi.
All things begin and end in nature.
I'll protect you.
This card gets so many freebies because people just forget about its alt text. This card probably doesn't attack very well here. Extra deputies are easy in. I mean, Zach, the beautiful part about Magic Arena is that it's brought a bunch of Hearthstone players into Magic. So I like to think about 3-free here as just Magic's WotC's attempt to make Hearthstone players feel more at home. That's what I'm pretty sure the inclusion of this card in the set was. Deputy in the opener, keep. Deputy plus 3 free against tokens, just like, not fair. One dinosaur, please. I'll play this out as a 3-3, I think. Blue, white, green. So, instead of me telling you why I didn't include that card, Stevie, can you tell me why it should be included? What problem is solved by this deck by playing that card, Why is it a worthwhile inclusion? New Ajani is a planeswalker that doesn't generate any card advantage on his own. And 4 mana planeswalkers, generally speaking, I think need to generate card advantage to be playable. It's like a pretty good turn. Not bad, JPG. And I'm gonna have 3 free here. Pick up my my deputy that has nothing under it. So that way, next turn this can exile the night tokens. Yep. Maybe this deck is just bad against RDW. We've been winning matches since we started playing against things that weren't full of basic mountains. Actually, that's a good point. Is green-white Ajani something that's worth playing out of the board? If the red matchup is hard, I could see that. Well, so like, it does and it doesn't. So it does definitely hedge it a little bit. And the nice thing about it is that green-white Ajani does apply pressure to the board. If you have a board state. It's a good draw as always.
Right on schedule.
I don't think I would trim. I don't think I would want to trim a sweeper, but I think trying some number of Chandra in that deck is probably not unreasonable. Although, the thing you have to consider is that Chandra gets awkward with counter spells, which is a real thing. I think the Bant Bow deck I've been playing a little bit of on stream has a pretty reasonable...
I've got time.
Has a pretty reasonable red matchup, Be Rich. Like, our start is, again, pretty good here, but, like, if they have Jade Light Ranger next turn, I'm not sure how I ever win the game. Yeah, next turn I get to play the second Loxodon and then pick the Raptor back up and put it back down. That's another elephant.
Oh, I've done hero things before.
Alright. If there was ever a start that could beat a Wild Growth Walker, this is probably it, right? This is all I've got. Your move, Yugi boy. If they finality us, we get to keep 3 things. But the problem is, this is getting huge. We tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter anymore. Teferi 3 free would be a good pickup here. You're not wrong. Wow, okay, just no. That's one way to beat Jade Light. Just hope they don't draw it. Is it crazy to just cut Vivien? That's probably crazy talk, right? Is it worth going up this large? Maybe this is just for Esper. What do I want to trim here, if anything? Chamber Sentry's probably a little bit mediocre. I'm gonna cut a Vivien. I have 25 creatures. Means Vivien's about 80% to hit. That's probably fine. Nah, I don't think I really want counter spells. Like, as you saw that game kind of play out, I don't think I'm gonna have the opportunity to hold up mana for counter spells a lot of the time. If we're in positions where we're trying to play defense, we're probably not winning the game. Pretty easy mulligan here, just not a lot of action going on. It's pretty reasonable. Yeah, it's like build your own wild Nikotl, basically, right? Just like this into this. Land. Ding, ding, ding. So, we wanted them to hit a land there, because that way they don't have a good block on our Pelt Collector here. Oh, gosh. 3/4s are so big, chat.
I'm known for my excellent fight. I've got it.
This card is so busted. Next turn we can do this. We're going to stabilize at a relatively high health total here, though. We'd really like to draw, like, Deputy of Detention next turn, so we can clear out their 3/4 again. Land. Rats. So, would like to draw a Deputy of Detention here, or a Loxodon. Deputy of Detention, please.
Making this up as I go.
Now, even though I wanted a Deputy, the fact that it's a turn behind's a big deal, because it means even if I'm able to use this to clear all of these out next turn, they have a Thrashing Brontodon that's going to be able to get in the way, which kind of sucks. Honestly, I probably don't want to Deputy these now, because they're only they're only one turn off of this finality. Well, if they miss a land drop, I might take these. But if they, like, hit a land drop here, I don't really want to play this on these. I'm gonna save Vivien and let Teferi die here.
Only time will tell.
You can still walk away.
The Thrashing Brontodon impacts my decision with the Deputy of Detention because this turn, if I were to Deputy the Branchwalkers, I still don't have good attacks because of the Brontodon. Opponent forgot that this thing gains Trample, but that block indicates that they have the land for finality here. Which we're not just dead, but we're pretty close to dead. Hey, Cobra Commander, thanks for the 213 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. She's dead, Jim. You've killed her. They are down to 4 here. If they have nothing, we could still have a shot here. The fact they had to shock in for that sixth land was a big deal. I'd be like, Teferi, pick your Brontodon up, smack you here. Oh, I should have tapped leaving double green up here, right? I'm gonna draw another green creature and feel sad. It's a good draw. Read. At least this is happening before I play the Loxodon, glass half full. Hopefully we draw 2-drop next turn so we can get Loxodon going on it.
Here goes nothing.
If I play this... I can't do the elephant. I think I just want an elephant this turn. Yeah, like if these are blanks and they play this turn, I could Deputy their 3/4 and attack with my 4/4. I did not board Interestani, although I probably should have. Sack their what, Coldfire? Alright, and we're dead. No, the owner of the card gets the card back.
That's more like it.
Hey, token green guy, welcome, welcome. Thanks for the Prime support, I appreciate that. Hope you're having a good one. This is the part where they finality me again. Maybe they find back the hostage taker. All right, well that's a good start. Means we're not. well, shoot.
Here we go.
We're just dead, right? Yeah, like, so, if I play these out, I extend into the finality. If I don't play these out, they just get to find back the Krasis and, like, bury us that way. third game on the play. There were a lot of permutations there of different ways that could go, and I think all of them ended up with us being screwed. Think you could try and discuss what makes us least screwed, but I think it all ends up with us losing the match there. I guess I actually can't play this on 2. I probably don't need to play this on 2 anyways. Maybe this wasn't a keep. We did Blade, but I'm playing like shit today because I'm sick. We're gonna be done here real soon. Probably shouldn't have kept this hand either. I'd be surprised if they have enough lands to keep that at this point. Yikes. The top of our hand was not a good keep, but the top of our deck certainly hasn't done us any favors. Yeah, if we draw like a Growth Chamber Guardian. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna do this and this. We did not play Esper Hero Chewy. This is only the third deck of the day. I'm doing another short day because I'm not feeling well.
How this thing goes. Sometimes restoration.
Right.
Ha! I've seen worse.
No, none that we're aware of. So, you know, cards like Ajani's Welcome just are bad synergy cards. In general, cards that really are good in Magic and help you improve matchups, you want them to be individually powerful. So if you wanted to hedge the red matchup, I think it would involve playing things like more Knight of Autumn. Look at that. You've earned your spot in the upcoming Mythic Qualifier Weekend Day 1 event. Event details available online. Oh, look at that. I clicked it and it popped up in my web browser. Look at that. Look at that. That's so, we're almost like a real video game, chat. That's slick. Anywho, to give, oh, I should. Anywho, this deck kind of just felt like a bad version of the Bant Vivien deck. Like, this deck's basically giving up the mid-range to long grind potential that... Do I still have that one in my deck editor? I do. Of this deck from the open. It felt like I was doing very similar things, but I was trading, like, this powerful top end for, like, this cutesy aggro strategy that, like, wasn't super aggressive. I think, all things considered, like, when all the synergies came together in this deck, it felt really powerful, but I felt like there were just too many moving pieces. Like, too often did we draw Huatli's Raptor, and it was just like a 2-3 Vigilance for 2, and we're just like, what are we doing with our lives? Why have we put a 2-3 Vigilance for 2 in our deck? Hey, Zofif, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the day. I wanted to sign on and do a few decks because I felt like playing some Arena anyways, but I'm not 100% in it today. I've spent most of last night tossing around with a fever, so I'm feeling mostly better now, but still not 100% there. Hopefully, I'll be well rested and up for a full day tomorrow. Thanks everyone for hanging out as always. I appreciate the support. And remember, if you want more stuff from myself, check out my website and my YouTube channel. And hopefully, I'll see all y'all tomorrow. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.